Hi dear students, welcome back to biology class. In this video, let us continue with the second chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants, and it is 11th video. In this video, let us discuss about the pollen pistil interaction. First, let us try to understand what is pollen pistil interaction. Dear students, when the pollen grains falls on the stigma, the pollen and stigma, when the pollen grains fall on the stigma, it will recognizes whether it is a right type of pollen or wrong type of pollen grain. So before discussing all the details, let us try to understand the definition of pollen pistil interaction. The pollen pistil interactions are the sequence of events from pollen deposition on the stigma until pollen tubes enter the ovule are together referred to as pollen pistil interaction. The pollination does not guarantee the transfer of right type of pollen because the pollen may be compatible or incompatible. What do you mean by compatible pollen grains and incompatible pollen grains? The compatible pollen grains are the right type of pollen grains which can germinate on the stigma and enter into a style, and it will succeed to reach the ovule. Whereas incompatible pollen grains means they are wrong type of pollen grains. For example, if the plant is if it is showing self-incompatibility, the pollen grains of the same flower, when it falls on the stigma, then this pollen grain is considered as a wrong type of pollen grains. It is incompatible pollen grains. And there are chances that the pollen grains from other species may also fall on the stigma. Therefore, the pistil has the ability to recognize the pollen, whether it is a compatible pollen or incompatible pollen, that is right type of pollen or incompatible wrong type of pollen grains. You look at this image, these are the pollen grains and they fall on the stigma. Now when they lands on the stigma, now the dialogue takes place between the tissue of the stigma and the pollen grain, which is mediated by the various chemical components. Now let us try to understand what happens when the compatible pollen lands on the stigma and what happens when the incompatible pollen falls on the stigma. See, when the incompatible pollen, that is wrong type of pollen, falls on the stigma, the pollen will not germinate because the pistil rejects the pollen by preventing the pollen grain from germinating and growth of pollen tube into the style. So this is being inhibited because the pollen tube growth and pollen germination and pollen tube growth is inhibited because of the various chemical dialogues which has been taking place between the tissue of the stigma and the pollen grains. This is what when the wrong type or incompatible pollen grain lands on the stigma. Then what happens when the compatible pollen or right type of pollen lands on the stigma? Here stigma accepts the pollen grain. You can see here the pollen grain, it has started to produce the pollen tube, and this pollen tube it grows through the style, okay, and finally it leads to fertilization. Following the compatible pollination, pollen grains germinate on the stigma and produce the pollen tube, and pollen tube grows through the style. When it grows through the style and it succeeds in reaching the embryo sac, that is pollen tube enters into the ovule through a small opening called micropylar region. Now dear students, we have studied that in some of the plant species the pollen grains are shed at two-celled stage. Look at this, is the pollen grain which has dehisced or shed at two-celled stage. There are two cells are one is generative cell and another one is vegetative cell. In this condition, as the pollen tube grows, the pollen germinates through a small opening called germ pore. Okay, so pollen tube starts to grow. Now the nucleus of the generative cell, it divides into two and results in the formation of two male gametes. Okay, now this pollen tube carries the two male gametes. Now in some other plants, the pollen grains are shed at 3-celled stage. Here, when the pollen germinates, the pollen tube carries two male gametes from here only. Okay, now what happens when the pollen tube enters into the ovule? After reaching the ovule through micropylar end, pollen tube enters into one of the synergids. Look at this diagram. Here the pollen tube enters into one of the synergids through filiform apparatus. The filiform apparatus are thin cellular thicknings which guides the entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac or into the one of the synergids. Hence, all these events, that is from landing of compatible pollen on the stigma till the entry of male gametes into the ovule and then synergid, these events are known as what? Pollen pistil interactions. So, all these interactions, it is possible, it is the result of continuous dialogue between pollen grain and pistil. This dialogue is mediated by the chemical components of the pollen and pistil. In brief, let us list the events of pollen pistil interaction. Number 1, the landing of compatible pollen on the stigma. Number 2, germination of pollen and formation of pollen tube where the pollen grains release its contents. Number 3, pollen tube growth through the style of the pistil towards the ovary. And number 4 and last one is the entry of male gametes into the ovule and then into the synergids. So all these are the sequence of events of the pollen pistil interaction. This pollen pistil interaction, it has various advantages. What are the advantages of this pollen pistil interaction? The advantages of pollen pistil interactions are, the first one is the involving of pollen recognition followed by the promotion or inhibition of the pollen. Second one is knowledge gained in this area would help the plant breeders in manipulating the pollen pistil interactions even in incompatible pollination to get the desired hybrids. The third one is it will help the breeders to cross the different genera to combine the desirable characters to produce commercially superior varieties. So this is about the pollen pistil interaction. Now let us continue with the artificial hybridization. What is artificial hybridization? Dear students, it's one of the major approach in crop improvement programs. It is the process by which only desired pollen grains are used for the pollination and fertilization, or I can say it is a controlled pollination with the desired pollen grains. It is known as artificial hybridization. This artificial hybridization, it involves two steps. The first one is emasculation, second one is bagging. What is emasculation? Emasculation, it is the removal of anthers from the bisexual flowers to prevent the self-pollination with the help of a pair of forceps is known as what? Emasculation. Here in the controlled pollination or in the crop improvement programs, we need to combine the desired characters from the two different parents. Suppose if the plant what we have selected, if it produces bisexual flowers, in such conditions there is a need to remove the anthers from the flowers to prevent the self-pollination. After removing the stamens from the flower, this flower it need to be covered with a butter paper or polythene bag in order to prevent the cross pollination. Therefore, the second step is bagging. The emasculated flowers are to be covered with a bag of suitable size. Generally, this bag is made up of butter paper, and it is to prevent the contamination of the stigma with the unwanted pollen. This process is known as what? Bagging. After bagging, in this step, we need to bring the artificial pollination, that is dusting the pollen grains from the selected male variety, male parent. In this image that you can see, this is the emasculated flower, and when the stigma becomes receptive, the polythene bag is being removed or opened, and the stigma is dusted with the desired pollen grains. After dusting it with the desired pollen grains, this flower, it needs to be covered again with a butter paper, bag of butter paper, so that we can prevent the contamination of the unwanted pollen grains. This step is known as what? Rebagging. Now, question may come into your mind that how about the plants which produces unisexual flowers? Suppose if you decided to carry out the artificial hybridization in the plants which produces unisexual flowers, in such unisexual flowers there is no need for emasculation, because male and female flowers are produced separately. In such flowers, the female flower buds are bagged before the flower opens. When the stigma becomes receptive, the pollination is carried out using the desired pollen, and the flowers are rebagged. So this is about the pollen pestilent reaction and artificial hybridization. Thank you.